What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm out here now. It is the youth hunt weekend, and my kids are not hunting this weekend. My dad and brother have some friends over across the valley hunting on the other side, so I'm taking this time to actually do a little bit of maintenance around the farm and move some tree stands. I'm moving some trail cameras. And that's what I'm going to talk to you a little bit about today is trail cameras. I was a late adopter to the cellular trail camera movement that was going on. I just liked the surprise factor, I guess, if you want to call it, of going out and actually checking my cameras. I also started buying cameras that had video capability because what I discovered is you miss a lot of stuff if you have a camera that's only doing 1, 2, or 3 photo bursts. I would buy stealth cams and I would set them up for 6, 7, 8, 9 shot bursts because you would miss stuff. I mean, it never failed. You would miss some stuff. So when I started running in video mode, it's amazing. And especially if you had a camera that ran and had audio with it, oh, the knowledge I would pick up from a video versus just 2 or 3 or even a single still image was critical to me being able to analyze what my population was around here. And a lot of times the camera would trigger as a doe would run past, and then right behind them, within a few seconds would be a buck coming through. Well, most of the cameras I had a 10, 15, 30 second, 1 minute delay between triggers, and so you'd miss that. When I ran my cameras in video mode and I was running 15, 20-second video lengths, I was getting all that stuff. Plus, it's just kind of cool to watch a video, especially if you have audio with it. All of that being said, I was still a slow adopter to the cellular trail camera movement. My brother bought me a couple of SPY Point Link micros for Christmas one year, and I kind of hesitantly put them up, and I was like, wow, this is pretty cool, but it's still just still images. And then the problem I had with them was the fact that whenever I needed to update the firmware, I had to go take an SD card out, do the whole update process while I was there. Sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't. Sometimes I'd have to do 2 or 3 different things to try to get it to work. But that's just kind of the nature of what happens when you have kind of, first and second generation products that are released into the market. I was still slow to adopt to the cellular, even though I had cellular cameras. I was still running probably 3 or 4 times as many non-cellular cameras because I could run them in video mode. Well, when StealthCam came out with their Deceptor camera and the functionality of me being able to adjust all of the parameters for that camera on my phone, that was a game changer for me. I bought my first Deceptor Max. I tried to buy a Deceptor and they were sold out, which was the first generation. After the Deceptor came out, then they had the Deceptor Max. And this is a Deceptor Max here. It'll do, I think it'll do, I remember do 1080. I know it'll do 1080p video. It may do 1440. I can't remember if the Deceptor Max does 1440 or if the Deceptor Max 2 does 1440. So I think I have it set on 16 megapixels, but if I'm not mistaken, I think it'll go all the way up to 40 megapixels, which is an enormous image, especially coming across from a cellular trail camera. Not only that, this camera is the one that's running, I bought it as a package, and it has the StealthCam lithium battery pack in it. So if you don't run the lithium battery pack, you need to use 16 AA batteries. And the lifetime on this, even in video mode, just is far superior to anything that I've ever used before. It's amazing how many videos and photos, if it reaches the maximum for the videos, how many videos and photos this thing will send me on a single charge. Yeah, the lithium battery pack can be expensive, but when I bought these, they were running, or this one in particular, they were running a special, the StealthCam website. You could buy the Deceptor Max and the lithium battery pack for $99. I believe it was $189 MSRP, the suggested retail price, but they were running them for $99. They have now sold out of these Deceptor Maxes, and now they've upgraded to the Deceptor Max 2, which has taken the features and the settings of this camera and they've stepped it up a notch. So I'll probably end up buying one of those. I'm not going to buy one right now because they're still kind of premium pricing. I'm a frugal shopper. I don't have to buy the newest, latest, greatest that comes out. But I have been incredibly impressed with this camera. I now have 3 exact same Deceptor Max, all with lithium battery packs, and they are taking my management of my property to the next level because nothing gets by these things. I actually did one time, I did a side-by-side comparison where I had one of these set up and then I had one of my old Link Micros set up. Yeah, it was taking, the Link Micro was taking photos, whereas this was taking videos. So it's not a comparison. I could have set this on photo mode, but I didn't. I just left it. This one was picking up movement that the other one totally missed. That's not a, I mean, I can't say that's a knock on the Spy Point. It was a first and second generation Link Micro. They now have newer versions with the Flex series. There's all different Flex series. My brother still runs, he's probably got 10 Spy Point between Link Micros and the Flex series. Flex, I think he bought another 2 or 3 Flex M's just yesterday. That's cool. That's fine. There's a deer back over there wheezing, snorting at me. Cool. Anyway, so I put this camera up down here. I'm down in the pines where I did my burn back in April. So if you haven't seen that, go check it out. It's totally changed the landscape in here. The typical travel corridors that the deer were taking down in here have totally changed because of that. Where there was a lot of extremely thick growth that the deer were going around last year during deer season, it's now cleared out. It's burned out and it's open, and you can now see, you can see 50, 60 yards in some places, whereas in the past you could only see about 20 yards. But then some of the other areas where the deer were traveling in the past, now there's so many dead pines that were in here. The burn took out a lot of the dead ones, but unfortunately some of the pines, it burned the base of the trees, and the trees fell over, and they didn't burn up, and they didn't continue to burn after they fell over. So now those trees are crossing the paths of where the deer were historically traveling. So I'm having to try to figure out their new travel corridors. I'm pretty sure I see a little sign of a trail in here. So I've got this camera set up here. I've got cameras set up over on the other side of the pines, and I've got another one set up at the edge of the pines on the other side in my hillside pasture field, looking across, coming into the pines. So I'm going to drop some video and photo content on here after this now, so you can just kind of see what kind of quality you're getting there. And I can't say enough about these. Obviously, I'm not sponsored by these guys. I have no affiliation with them at all, but I just want to share it with you because there are great strides are being made in the cellular trail camera market and the space out there, the technology that's being developed and implemented and released in these things. You can take it a long way. I'm not the kind of hunter that sits in my house and waits for a deer picture to show up before I go out. I know some guys that do that. That's cool if you do it. That's not me, though. I'm going to come out. I enjoy being out here and seeing, not just seeing, just participating in nature. I love everything about the hunting lifestyle. I love being out here, seeing everything come to life in the morning, from the birds to the butterflies to the owls that come flying in and land in the pine tree limbs over my head. And then when you do see a deer or a turkey come through, or a possum or skunk or whatever it is, I just love all of it. So anyway, well, I'm going to go in. I'm going to go drop some video photo content here now. Let me know if you've ever used the Deceptors. I think I saw now, so StealthCam has their Fusion Max cameras, last year's version Fusion Max. They now have a Fusion Max 2, I believe, but they have their Fusion Max from last year's release. They have them marked down on clearance. I think they're $69 now. And I don't know if they do audio. They're only a 720p, I believe. I believe the Fusion Max 2 is a 1080p with audio. So I don't know that I'll pull a trigger on a Fusion Max from last year, because I like having that audio to go along with the video, just because, you pick up a lot from that. But check it out. If you haven't yet, check out the Deceptor Max, check out the Fusion Max. Let me know if you've used them before, what your thoughts are. But anyway, I'm going to get to the house. Wish you a wonderful hunting season. If you're still going, if your season's over, congratulations. But good luck this year. Thank you so much for watching. God bless.